Good morning everyone, it's Bridget here from Bridget's Kitchen. Welcome to my space, welcome to my kitchen. I've got a really exciting little recipe to share with you guys today, and I have to say that this particular recipe that I'm sharing is some crackers, so savory cracker recipe. So yes, it is a healthy treat, but I've been promising to share this recipe for a little bit of time now, and I literally have not had the opportunity to type it up. So before you ask, this recipe is currently only available if you watch the video, and you need to write down the ingredients. I'm hoping that I'll get enough time to type it up, take the photos, and publish it on Bridget's Kitchen within the next couple of days. But if you want to make these crackers now, then you need to watch the video. That's the truth. So to everyone who's watching, thank you. Hi Tracy, good to see you. Good to see anyone who's joining me. Let me know where you are coming from here today, and don't forget, if you want to, you can share this video by starting a watch party, and you can share it with all your friends, and they too can make these amazing crackers. Now the crackers that I'm making, I call them seaweed crackers. So not seaweed as in from the ocean, but actually seeds and weed, and I will get into why I call them seaweed very soon. But they are one of those crackers that they last for ages for a start. So you can make lots and lots and lots and lots, and they're not very hard to do, which is always one of the best parts about a recipe, is when you can make lots with very little energy. So they are definitely one of those crackers. But the other really cool thing about them is they last for a long time. So I like to store them when they're cold, store them in an airtight container. I even leave them in my fridge because I find that they even last longer in my fridge in a container, and they will last you for well over a week. They won't go soggy on you. They'll stay nice and crunchy, which is kind of what you want from a cracker. Now ideally, what are you going to do with these crackers? Now they're gluten-free, of course. They are sugar-free, and they are dairy-free. In fact, these crackers are even vegan. So you can use them in so many different ways. If you are starting to incorporate, some healthy fats into your diet, you can use these crackers with a lovely bit of good quality cheese. You can also put avocado on them, or maybe you put tomato on them. They are literally super duper versatile. And hi, we've got a lot of people joining us today, so welcome, come on in. We're making crackers today. So this is kind of like our Sunday baking class. I reckon that's a really cool thing to do on a Sunday, because I'm not sure about you guys, but I love the idea of being at home on Sunday and getting into the kitchen and cooking something really delicious that will then last me through the week. And these crackers are exactly that. So as I was saying, they're full of seeds, they're gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, and they are vegan. Fantastic. And they're so incredibly easy to make. So the first thing about them is that I said they're a healthy treat. So they're not something that I would say to you guys, you can eat this as many as you want all day long. That's not how it works. Healthy treats are still that. They are treats, and you need to be mindful of how many you eat. So, a good handful of those crackers aren't going to do you any harm, but if you're eating a whole lot at one go, we're really defeating the purpose. So they are healthy treats, and they are not included in my Healthy Treats ebook that I have available on my Facebook shop. But I've got 30 other recipes. I just want to show you this really cool thing, because the husband bought this really cool little tablet the other day because he likes to read on it, and I just want to show you what it looks like if you had the healthy treats. So that's kind of what it looks like. I'm going to come alongside you guys so you can see that. So that's the healthy treats there. And the recipes that I've got involved here is my sugar and gluten and dairy-free pumpkin pie. You get that one. You also get my gluten and sugar-free pancakes. These are amazing. These are coconut and cardamom cookies. These are really good. And you want to talk about easy to make? They will take you only minutes to make. We've got my apple crisps or my apple chips. Oh, this is wonderful. This is a vegan banana berry bread. Lemon curd. For anyone who's got a huge amount of lemons at the moment, this is my gluten, sugar, dairy, and egg-free lemon curd. Believe it or not. And yes, you can make it in jars and you can put it away. So you've got lemon curd when lemons are no longer as cheap. So that's really cool. My healthy chocolate truffles, more cookies, yogurt bark, more cookies, more biscuits, crumble. Ooh, have you guys tried that one? Can you see that one? That is my Dutch apple pie. That is amazing too. You can just see how good that is. So lots of really gorgeous, oh that's good too, coconut ruff, banana chips, more cookies, cake, brownies, it's all in there. And it's one of those great little books that can get you still being lovely and satisfied without the guilt, which is really cool. So that's my healthy treats, available now, that ebook, on Bridget's Facebook shop, which I believe Mahay's going to drop a link in for us. He is doing that right now. What a great man. All right, let's get into the recipe. As I was saying, seed-weed crackers. What does that even mean, right? Come down to my bench and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So seed-weed crackers is literally a combination of different types of seeds, and the reason I'm calling it weed, any Kiwi will get this, I'm adding in hemp hearts. No, there's no marijuana THC levels. You're not going to get high if you have hemp hearts, but what you are going to get is you're going to get amazing nutrients in your little crackers. So hemp hearts are really good for us because they've got omega-3 and omega-6, which is that healthy fat that you want in your diet. So these are super versatile. You can sprinkle them on your salads. Obviously you can put them into your baking as well, so they can go into, you know, if you're making little protein balls, they can go into there. You can throw them into a smoothie if you're having a smoothie, but what I like to do with them is I like to put them into my crackers. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add in, and I'll remember to give you guys the ingredients of what we're doing here. So I'm going to add in 40 grams, and you know, you can see that I'm actually doing everything straight onto my scale here, so I don't have to measure out anything. It's all done right there on the scale. So 40 grams of our hemp hearts or hemp seeds go into our bowl. As I said, this is so easy. I'm also going to be using flax seeds, also known as linseeds, and they kind of look like that. That's what they look like. This is a big packet I bought from Costco, I believe, and look at that, it's pretty fabulous. And when it comes to flax seeds, they are once again good healthy fats, so really high in omega-3, which is really good for our brain. So we're adding 40 grams of the flax seeds as well. Go in. So another really good one for us. But also the other thing about flax seeds is not only are they high in healthy fats, they're really high in iron and potassium and magnesium. So they're all round a really good seed to incorporate into your diet. We're also going to add in some chia seeds. Now chia seeds are one of the most perfect proteins that you can get. And the other thing about chia seeds, I'm using white chia seeds. Sometimes you'll see them also, they'll come as black chia seeds, or sometimes even a mixture of the two. There is no difference in nutritional value between the white ones and the dark ones. It's just purely cosmetic. So it doesn't matter which ones you buy. You can buy the white ones or you can buy the dark ones. Doesn't matter. And we're going to put 40 grams of the chia seeds in there as well. Now chia seeds are a really important ingredient in this cracker recipe, because once they have water added to them, they swell up to 10 times the original size. So they originally look like that. Once you add water, if anyone's ever had chia seeds before, you'll notice that these swell and they get almost jelly-like, and that is what is going to help to hold our crackers together when they're baking. So our chia seeds are in there. The next thing we need to add in is I have some almond meal here, and I'm going to be putting in 100 grams of almond meal or almond flour. Whichever one you can find is absolutely fine. Now instead of adding just straight almond flour that like I'm doing here, what you can also do, if you can find it at your health food store or in your supermarket, is you can buy a product called LSA, which stands for linseed or flax seeds, sunflower seeds and almond. It's a mixture of the three, and it comes in a powder form like that. If you see LSA, then you can do this. Instead of adding 100 grams of almond flour, you can add 100 grams of LSA, which is fantastic as well. So that goes in there. I'm also going to add in a good pinch of Himalayan salt. You're after about a teaspoon of Himalayan salt, because we want to make sure our crackers have a really lovely flavor as well. And the last thing that I'm going to add in, I do need to do a little bit of work on them. I'm going to be adding in my other flavoring seeds. So it's up to you what type of seeds you add in here. So for instance, I have, remember this is purely for flavor, I have cumin seeds here. I also have, these are called caraway seeds, and I've nearly run out. I need to go and buy some more. Caraway seeds, there. And the last one I'm going to be adding in is fennel seeds. Now, as I was saying, it's up to you which seeds you add in, because this is purely for flavor into our crackers. But I love the combination of fennel and about a teaspoon of each, caraway and cumin. And what I have done here is I'm putting them into a pan. This is called dry frying. And I know I've spoken to you guys before about what dry frying does to our spices. It helps to bring out the flavor. So rather than me just throwing them straight into the bowl without putting any heat to it, you'd still get a bit of flavor from them, but you're going to get so much more flavor when you bloom your spices. So that's what we're doing here, is we're applying them to a frying pan. No oil, no nothing, dry frying. I've got them on sort of medium to high, and I'm just going to have them in there for about a minute. So I've got some steam kind of rising off there, and you can hear them crackling. So once you hear them crackling or popping, you want to take them after that. It takes about 45 seconds to a minute, depending on how hot you have them on, but about a medium heat. So once you hear that cracking, and then you'll be able to smell the fragrances coming from our seeds there. Let me turn that annoying thing off. You better smell the fragrances coming from our seeds. Once you get that wonderful aroma happening, and it will literally hit you in the back of your nose, you know you're good to go. We're just going to add that straight into our bowl. Those away. I'm just seeing if I've got everything. Yes, oh, last thing. I did forget one more thing actually. So the last thing I'm going to be adding is a few more seeds. So in here I have sunflower seeds, or pepitas as they're also known. It's the other name for, pumpkin seeds, which are the green ones, also known as pepita seeds. And I have sunflower seeds. You need about 40 grams. It's up to you which seeds you choose. So you can choose pumpkin, or you can choose sunflower, or you can do like I've done. And I've just got a combination of the two. And then just using my knife, I'm just gonna roughly chop through them. And I have to say that the crunch of this is so satisfying as my knife is going through these seeds. But yeah, you need about 40 grams of pumpkin or sunflower, up to you, whichever ones. I know that sunflower seeds are definitely a lot cheaper than pumpkin seeds, but they also, you know, they've got a wonderful flavor, and once again, really good for us because there's those natural occurring healthy fats in both the sunflower seeds and the pumpkin seeds, and so really good for us. So just roughly chop, and those are going to go in as well. And then just taking up a spoon. Like I said to you guys, it is easy. Mixing can be done with a tablespoon. Just give that a quick little combination together. If you've got lumps of your almond flour or almond meal, just give it a bit of a push with a spoon because you don't want lumps in there. And then all we have to do now is bring this all together so it becomes more like a cracker dough. And we're simply going to do that by adding, and I've got kombu water here, so there is a bit of seaweed in there, and my seed weed. But if you don't have kombu water, you can also use just plain filtered tap water as well. But you know, when I can use kombu water, I do, because we know it's really good for our thyroid and metabolizing our thyroid. So if you do have kombu water in your fridge, then definitely this is a great time to add it. And we need 120 mils of the kombu water. There we go, 120 mils of that. But like I said, if you don't have kombu water at your disposal, you can use filtered water as well. So just give that a bit of a stir. And it kind of looks a little bit gloopy, and you're thinking, how is that ever going to become a cracker? I know, right? You're like, nah, she screwed this recipe up. That's not going to work. But trust me, all we need to do now is let this sit for about 10 minutes. And as it is sitting, it'll thicken up really nicely for us. So, here's one I prepared earlier. Let me go and grab it. Alright. So after it's sat there for a while, look at that. It thickens up. Because remember, we had those chia seeds in there. And that's what chia seeds is really good for. Not only are they such a fantastic source of protein, obviously vegan protein as well, plant protein. But the other great thing about it is they have that gel-like quality, which means that this becomes, you know, it starts off looking like gloop, you know, doesn't look too great, and then ends up looking like that after about 10 minutes. So let it rest for 10 minutes. That is definitely the secret there. Let it rest for 10 minutes. And once it looks, the consistency is like this, then you can start to roll it out. Now, by the way, I have my oven behind me set on 170 degrees Celsius, which is 320 degrees Fahrenheit. And I've got that ready to go. So I've preheated my oven. So all I need to do now is to roll out my crackers. So taking up a little bit of your Glad Bake or your non-stick baking paper, parchment. You want quite a large piece of it. Now, can you guys see that? Let me just bring it down. All right, there you go. You need quite a large piece of this this paper here, because we're literally going to just stick our cracker dough onto the paper. And then, once it's all on there, and this little recipe will probably make you, depending on how big you make your crackers, you could make at least 50 crackers with this little recipe here. So it does stretch quite well, which is nice. So then we're going to take another sheet of paper, and this is the easiest way to roll it out. About the same size as the one underneath. Put it directly on top. Give it a bit of a smash down. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Just to make it easier for you guys to see. I know white on white does not visually, it's really hard to see what's going on. Let me turn it over. I'm going to put that onto my chopping board, and you can actually see the size of my paper now. So once I've got it on there, take yourself up a rolling pin or a empty wine bottle or a milk bottle or whatever it is, and start to roll your cracker dough out. Give it a bit of a squish with your hands. And what you're creating now is your crackers. So easy, right? This is so simple to do. And you want to get to a thickness. I'll show you guys what I'm after, thickness wise. It doesn't have to be perfectly shaped either. You don't have to worry about it being a square or a rectangle or whatever, a circle. It literally is you rolling out to the size of your baking paper. And the sort of thick, it's really more about the thickness before it goes into the oven that I'm more concerned about than the look of it going into the oven, because they're going to be turned into crackers anyway, and these are rustic crackers. So it's alright, I got a little bit coming up the edge there, that's fine, don't worry about that. It'll all make sense once it goes into the oven. Alright, so that's kind of what it looks like. I'm going to show you guys how thick it is, if I can pick it up without it falling. Do you see that? That's the sort of thickness you want. I'm going to say it's just a couple of millimeters of thickness.